Hoda's Career Info is brought to you by Right Career Fit. Finding your next job or your career path should not be a mystery that needs to be solved. Book your appointment at rightcareerfit.com and let's have that very important career conversation.
A lot of people just they get a resume together and then they never change it and they never modify it to the job description to make it easy for the recruiter to figure out, yes, you're the person I need to talk to. And that should be a rule of thumb for anybody on LinkedIn. Send a note, tell somebody why you want to connect. Anybody out there is going to find jobs. I think, the economy right now, it's the employees have the upper hand, and you just have to be prepared to go out and meet people and to see people again. Have keywords in your resume. Make sure your LinkedIn profile is full of keywords and up to snuff. Oh, and please, on your LinkedIn profile, please make sure you have contact information on there. Make it easy for people to find you. You will be found. The right keywords, you're going to be found, and people are going to want to hire you.
Thank you for joining me in Season 2 of Hoda's Career Info, your career program where I seek to explore career answers and share stories about the great work done by the career development community. How do I accomplish this? One interview at a time. I am Hoda, your host. I look forward to another season of career chats with inspirational guests and insightful feedback from you, the audience. My guest today is the founder of CareerDFW.org and CareerUSA.org, Jeff Morris. Jeff is an operations and organizational-oriented professional with 20 years experience in a light manufacturing, value-added, quick-turn environment with extensive customer service and team-building experience. Jeff is also experienced in identifying and implementing solutions, staff development, and increased productivity by incorporating Six Sigma. Since 2007, Jeff has facilitated the North Dallas Plano Career Focus Group, which meets each Friday morning in Plano. Over 1,380 people have found their next great opportunity while attending this group. In 2008, Jeff founded CareerDFW.org, a website created to assist unemployed and underemployed in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. In September of 2012, Jeff published his first book, What I've Learned About Your Job Search That You May Not Know. In the same month and same year, Jeff was invited to attend the White House Forum on Job Clubs and Career Ministry in the White House in Washington, D.C. Inspired by this forum, Jeff launched CareerUSA.org, a website to help those outside the Dallas-Fort Worth area. When COVID hit, Jeff started live free online career workshops every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday on topics such as LinkedIn, interviewing, resumes, and networking. I look forward to hearing your thoughts on the tips and advice Jeff shared. Let's go! It's my pleasure to have you, Jeff Morris, at Hoda's Career Info today. I really appreciate your time, and I really appreciate also all the work that you do. I'm very excited to talk about it today.
And with
without further ado, we will always start this show with asking you to define a career term. Many find it as a challenge, and I can't wait to hear what your career term is and how you define it and describe it from your work perspective.
Well, I think the term is keywords. I think keywords are just so very, very important in your job search. whether it be on your resume, on LinkedIn, how you describe yourself. You've got to match the keywords to the job. Otherwise, people aren't going to figure out what exactly you do.
I love this choice of keywords, and it's definitely so important. And we think everybody knows that. We think everybody, you just match the words to the job you're applying to, and you're good. But it's surprising to find that many people do not know this. So that's a great word.
I mean, I think a lot of people just they get a resume together. Finally, takes them forever to do that, and then they never change it, and they never modify it to the job description to make it easy for the recruiter to figure out, yes, you're the person I need to talk to.
Absolutely. And I find that many had spent so many time on their resume or paid money to get it done that they get attached to it. And then when I tell them, well, we might need to tweak it because I am not a resume writer, I don't take that on as as a task or a service. And so I find people get attached to it. So I appreciate you bringing this topic up for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think 20 years ago, back when you had to have your resume typeset because we didn't have word processing and we didn't have email, you had to have a stack of resumes that you could mail out. You had one resume and that was it. But nowadays, it's too easy, and it just take the time to modify and add those keywords.
Absolutely. My next question is to you, is asking you about your background and how you got into the career development field and what drives you to do the work that you do every day.
Well, I guess what drives me is it's just nice to help other people. And I've been able to do what I do. So my background is manufacturing operations, running a small business, 100 employees or less. I've had full P&L, hire, fire responsibilities, usually family-owned businesses where the owner lived out of town, or it's the kind of businesses that I like to be part of. And I like to be part of those small businesses because I want to know everybody who works for me, because I think it's important. I mean, you're a family, you're spending 8, 10, 12 hours a day with these people, 5 to 7 days a week, and you want to enjoy who you're working with. So for me, working for a small company is very important because it allowed me to get to know people. We'd have cookouts, we made it a good time. So back in 2007, I've been laid off a few different times over the years. And every time I got laid off, here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, we have a number of career networking groups, probably 60 before COVID, 60 to 70 networking groups in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. It really was amazing how many groups, and specific groups, depending on whatever it is you did, you could go find those people. Well, back in 2007, the last time I got laid off, I was going back to the group that I was really active in, that meets on Friday mornings. The guy who was running the group got a job, said who wanted to take over. I think I scratched my face. He said, okay, Jeff, you're it. And so I've been leading that group since 2007. And one of the things I noticed in the Dallas-Fort Worth area is that there wasn't one resource that pulled all these groups together. And so in 2008, I started a website called careerdfw.org to help those who are unemployed in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. The website's got calendars. It listed all the networking events that were going on. Prior to me starting the website, I remember going to one of the career placement centers here, and the most current list of networking groups they had was dated 2.5 years. It was 2.5 years old. So that sort of became my focus, to find out who meets, when they meet, where they're meeting at, do they still meet, get it on a website, and make it easy so that somebody who's unemployed could find one resource to help guide them in their job search. Then in 2012, I got invited to go to the White House Forum on Job Clubs and Career Ministries. The White House, the Department of Labor called another church here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. They said, oh, you need to talk to Jeff because Jeff knows everything going on here. So they contacted me. I was able to go to this conference up in Washington. The interesting thing was there were 110 people there, but nobody else in any of these cities was doing what I was doing. I mean, there was no other website like Career DFW. they had their own little websites for their church group, or the Texas, their workforce commission had their little website, but nothing thinking about how can we encompass everything for the community. So when I came back, I was already planning to rebuild my website. So I had already owned the name careerusa.org. I just didn't know what I was going to do with it. And so I went and split up the Career DFW website. If it's specific to the Dallas-Fort Worth area, it's on the Career DFW website. If it's generic and anybody can use it around the country, I started careerusa.org, and I've been doing that ever since. And then when COVID hit, it really changed everything that we were doing. All the networking groups stopped meeting for obvious reasons. Nobody could get together. I already had a Zoom account, so I was able to, fairly within a month, I was putting on training sessions 4 days a week with different subjects, helping people in their career search. And then as the other networking groups in the DFW area started back up, I probably taught a half to 3/4 of them how to use Zoom since I already knew how to use it. So I just sort of, kept things going here.
And careerdfw.org and careerusa.org was going to be the next question that I'm going to ask you a bit more details about. You did refer them a little bit, but can you give us like some sort of a free service or networking event that people can find when they go on these websites? Just an example of something recent that. Well, I know I'm signed up to your newsletter. I'm sorry, I should add that. So they can sign up to the newsletter. That's one service as well, and we receive updates. So yes, go ahead. Sorry.
Right. Well, one of the things I have on both the websites is a career tip of the week, and it changes every week. And I find career tips all over the internet. And it's sort of like those, if you remember V8, the V8 commercials. Wow, I should have had a V8. Wow, I wish I'd read this 3 to 5 minute career tip because I should have been doing that weeks ago. Why didn't I think of that before? So career tip of the week. We list networking groups. If you're on the Career DFW site, networking groups in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. On the careerusa.org website, I have career groups listed around the United States that I'm aware of. So if somebody's watching and you don't see it listed on Career USA, reach out to me, let me know. I'll be glad to edit. Add it to the website. I'm constantly changing things and editing all the time. So it's just whatever I can do to help spread the word of your group. I want your group to be found, and so that they can try to network with your group. Right in the very middle of the front page of both front pages, there's a section free career training. So all the career workshops that we're putting on throughout the year, in 2021, we put on 240 workshops. So we're putting on 4 a week at this point. And so every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 1 o'clock, and then Friday mornings at 9:30, all Central Time, different topics that we're talking about. Those Zoom links are all there. People are welcome to find us on Zoom. We also broadcast most of the events on our Facebook page. It's a Career DFW Facebook page. And so people can follow us on Facebook. You can subscribe to the Career USA YouTube channel. In fact, here, let me pop up. Let me change a little background here. So, you can, follow us on one of those events or one of those places. And, we try to post everything that's going on a daily basis so that people can make it easy for them to find the programming that we're doing. The website's full of information. I mean, back in 2007, 2008, the biggest section, we had a big career file section. So like a big giant file cabinet. What do you need help with? You need help with resumes, with business cards, with who do you network with? How do you network? Interview questions with the answers. So when they ask this kind of question, here's the kind of answer that they're looking for to give you an idea so you can practice with people. So it's just grown over the years, and whatever we can do to help people, that's what we're trying to do.
That's a lot of services. And the best part is that it's all free. Like people just can join, and now it's all free. And I know I follow you on LinkedIn as well. And You did not mention that. I think the Career DFW is on LinkedIn as well.
We have on, you're welcome, on LinkedIn, we have a Career DFW LinkedIn group that we started back in 2008. We have over 13,000 members. You don't have to live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area to join that group. Anybody's welcome to join it. We also have a Career USA group that we started when we started the Career USA website. And I make sure that if I post something in one, I post it in both groups. So if you follow us, you'll find out about all the events that are going on. And if you want to reach out to me and link in with me, the only request I have is that you send a personal note. When you just send me that generic invitation, I do not connect with those people because I don't know why we should connect. And that should be a rule of thumb for anybody on LinkedIn. Send a note, tell somebody why you want to connect.
That's great advice. Yes, for sure. Jeff, you and I were introduced to each other by David Reynolds, who mentioned your book, that you wrote a book in 2012, and the title of the book, What I've Learned About Your Job Search That You May Not Know. I looked at the book and the reviewers as well, and one reviewer caught my attention, and I'm going to read it so I don't mess it up. Jeff does a great job of gathering wonderful gems from those who were in job transition and provides tips under the critical areas one needs to address for success. What drove you to write the book, Jeff, and have the wonderful gems changed over now post-COVID too?
Well, I needed to write the book because my brain was getting too full with all these ideas. And every Friday, the networking group I've led since 2007 on Fridays, 3 out of every 4 Fridays of the month, we bring in a guest speaker and they talk about different topics. And in fact, the speaker we have coming this Friday I've known him for years. He comes once a year and he talks. And I don't remember what he talked about many, many years ago, but the tip that I took away from his presentation was, if you're going to have a networking meeting and meet somebody in person, instead of going to Einstein Bagel, or instead of going to Starbucks, go to Einstein's Bagel, because at the time, coffee was 99 cents and you got free refills. So, the book is a bunch of those little simple career tips that any graduate student could probably take and write an entire thesis on. But I think the book's got like 85 or 90 tips in it. And here's the tip. And then here's 1 or 2 pages on why you should do it. And hopefully it sticks in your mind. I don't think the tips have really changed a little bit. Yes, I think technology has changed as far as LinkedIn is more important than it was a few years ago. LinkedIn was important years ago. I think people now realize it's even more important because back then LinkedIn didn't have a job board. Now LinkedIn has a job board. So my brain's about 60 to 70% full. And when it gets about 90, I'm going to have to start outputting things again and maybe write a second book.
Well, this is a great book, and I want to thank David Reynolds for introducing us, because I had not known about this book, and so it's very loaded with tips. So definitely great, and I can't wait to see you write the next one.
Thank you.
So this is going to be my final question to you, Jeff. What are some of the ideas going through your mind or current involvements that you would like to share with the audience today?
I think there are a couple things. Number one, I think it's real important that COVID changed everything. I think that, we all yearn to meet people and see people in person. And a couple months ago, we had just a touch of that, and then things have gotten worse again. I know I have not started up my Friday networking group in person. We're on Zoom every Friday, but we did start a few lunches afterwards where those people who felt comfortable about going out, we'd have 8 or 10 people who'd meet for lunch, which was really nice to see people in 3D. So, hopefully we can get to a point where people feel comfortable of getting out, because quite frankly, everybody's tired of Zoom. You don't want to be on another Zoom call. It's just, and I see it, I keep track of my numbers over the last 2 years of doing Zoom calls, and, the numbers just get smaller and smaller, but every week, there's always a couple new people who jump on and learn some new things. So, hopefully COVID will get us through, or we'll get past COVID, or get to a new normal. We can start to see people again, because that one-on-one communication is just very, very important. Trying to think what else. We're going to continue to do workshops. I think that one of the things that COVID has done, and I think it's changed the workforce. I think people realize that they don't have to go to the office every day. And I think that when you do look at a job, I think that companies are going to have to offer more remote jobs. I think there was a great presentation, if you can find it, on CBS website. 60 Minutes did a presentation this past Sunday night, and they interviewed the person who's in charge of all the data for LinkedIn, talking about what they see and where they see the workforce going. And that, I think a couple years ago, pre-COVID, 7 to 10% of jobs were truly remote jobs. Now they're saying that could be 30 to 40% of jobs are going to become remote. Or you're going to at least be able to have to offer some remote 2 or 3 days a week. Some people like to go into an office. They want to see other people. You need that water cooler talk to be able to really interact with other people, and plus share ideas. I mean, it's really hard. I know my daughter works 100% remote kind of job, and she misses going into an office and seeing people. She would do it 1 or 2 days a week if she was able to do so. So I think we're going to have to get back to that human interaction somehow, because Zoom just doesn't do it.
I agree with you. And just being able to, like, that 10-minute coffee break just to talk to someone is amazing, because it doesn't happen on Zoom for sure.
Right. Go take a piece of candy off a coworker's desk and just say, hi, how was your weekend? I can't believe what happened in the football game last week, or whatever it is. We're not doing that. And I think it really, really hurts.
And any advice on how to prepare for what could be post-COVID, in your opinion?
Well,
forecasting.
I think, I mean, there's so many people who are, the great resignation. People are resigning their jobs because they don't want the stress. They don't want to put up with whatever they were putting up with. In fact, a good friend of mine, I just found out today, got laid off, or he quit or whatever, because he was tired of putting up with the baloney that his manager was giving him. And I think that's, I think people nowadays are going to be, they're not going to put up with what they used to put up with prior to COVID. They realize that there is a life. Do you work to live, or do you live to work? And people are going to go, I just go to work so that I can have a nice life and enjoy life. So what I think is going to be important for people is to keep the communication skills up. I think reaching out to other people. January is a great time to wish anybody, any contact you have, a happy new year. It was interesting. We had a conversation this past Tuesday at a network, or a week ago Tuesday. How long can you say happy new year to other people before you expire? And so the vote was the month of January. You can continue to do that. So reach out to all your contacts during the month of January and wish them a happy new year. Just, see how they're doing. And, you will find it. Anybody out there is going to find a jobs. I think, the economy right now, it's the employees have the upper hand, and you just have to be prepared to go out and meet people and to see people again. Have keywords in your resume. Make sure your LinkedIn profile is full of keywords and up to snuff. Oh, and please, on your LinkedIn profile, please make sure you have contact information on there. I see so many people who reach out and I have no way to contact them. Put your phone number, put your email address in the about section, in addition to the contact information, so that people can reach out to you. Make it easy for people to find you. You will be found. The right keywords, you're going to be found, and people are going to want to hire you.
This is great advice. And was there anything else you wanted to add before we wrap up, Jeff?
Well, the only thing I didn't mention is, what kind of workshops we're putting on every day. Every Tuesday, we do a LinkedIn seminar. Every Wednesday, we do an interviewing seminar. And in fact, in 2022, we have a 13-part workshop that we put together, but for 2022, you will actually be able to watch a live practice interview from the practice interview team here in Dallas. And so you'll be able to see somebody being interviewed and then the three panelists actually interviewing somebody. And to me, that's a fascinating process because you'll say, man, they said that was great. I need to write down how they said that. Or, boy, they really messed up on that question. So it's really an interesting process. This past week was our first time letting anybody do it. Every Thursday, the first and third Thursday of the month, we talk about resumes. The second and fourth Thursday of the month, we talk about networking. All those Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays are at 1 o'clock. And then Friday mornings at 9:30 in the morning, Central, all the times are Central, is the North Dallas Plano Career Focus Group. And open to anybody, anywhere who can get on via internet. And Zoom links are all on the Career DFW and Career USA websites right there in the middle where it says free career training.
So is there pre-registration required, or can I like
no
join
registration? You're welcome to either jump on the YouTube channel. I mean, you can jump on the not YouTube channel. You can jump on our Facebook page, Career DFW Facebook page, or jump on any of the Zoom links. There's no pre-registration. There's no cost. We just want to share the knowledge and help you in your job search.
That is all very great. And thank you so much, Jeff, for joining me today. I appreciate your time and I look forward to more collaborations.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you for joining me and Jeff Morris in this episode of Hoda's Career Info 2022. I hope that Jeff's career tips help you find employment really fast. You can connect with Jeff on LinkedIn or by sending him an email at webmaster@careerdfw.org. Please remember that you can listen to Hoda's Career Info since it's also dropped as a podcast. To let me know if you're interested in an opportunity to talk about your work, you can send me a direct message on my website, rightcareerfit.com, where you can also sign up for my newsletter to stay up to date on the latest episodes of Hoda's Career Info. Remember to like, subscribe, share, and follow me on social media for more career info. I am your host, Hoda. Until next time, stay inspired and keep moving with confidence.